Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Hello, television family. It's good to see you again. It's down the road we go. It is the 10th day of January. According to my calendar, it's the year 2024. And according to my calendar, it's Wednesday. Winnie Wednesday is back, and I got to tell you right now, people are talking about this place. I'm a huge fan of super thin pancakes, sometimes known as crepes, or crepes, as the spirit show moves you. It turns out both pronunciations are acceptable. You've heard about this place down at the Victorian Village, off of South Mission here in Wenatchee. It's called the Crepe House. It is opened. There it is. That's me enjoying a super skinny pancake the way I like them. It has been open for a few months, and they are on board Winning Wednesday. And guess what I got for you, kids? $50. A $50 gift card from our friends at the Crepe House in the Victorian Village. Here's the cool thing. If you really like your crepes, you can phone in ahead, and then they have a drive-through window. Who doesn't love that? Phone in, order your crepes, whoop, drive-through. You got them piping hot. You can take them back to your home or your office to enjoy it. The Crepe House, and by the way, they do have gluten-free available for you and dairy-free, and they also serve Blue Star coffee, which is good stuff. You want a $50 gift card to the Crepe House? Send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. You have to enter via email, but everybody has one of those. You know the rules by now. You can enter more than once if you have more than one email. It's one entry per email address. You cannot enter continuously like 100 times on the same email address. First of all, we keep track of these things, and second of all, it really ticks me off. But people don't do that anyway. Winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. Employees of local telecommunications, solely and broadcasting, and their media families are not eligible. Sorry, Casey. And I'll give it away a little bit later on. And they gave us a bunch of these things. So if you don't win today or tomorrow, you may win next Wednesday, or who knows. The Crepe House in the Victorian Village. Check it out. It's good food. It has the Dan Kuntz seal of approval, if that means anything to you. 2 minutes after the hour, Blewett Pass closed. Stevens Pass closed. You can't get there from here. Yeah, Stevens is still closed. Blewett is still closed. They've been closed for quite some time. So even if you wanted to take I-90, you got to go all the way around to take that. And I-90 is a mess. They got 19 inches of snow yesterday on Snoqualmie Pass, but it's open. Blewett isn't. Stevens isn't. If they open during the course of this program, we will let you know. It is 36 degrees outside of our studios. We're going to be upper 30s today, mid 30s on Thursday, and then the bottom is going to fall out, and you're going to wake up Friday morning going, it is cold, and it's going to be very, very cold, and we're going to get some snow Thursday night into Friday. All of those details are on the way. Plus news, plus sports. Kraken now 7 in a row, one off the franchise record. Had no real problems with the Sabres last night. We'll have highlights of that. And speaking of hockey, the local hockey team, the Wenatchee Wild of the Western Hockey League, and they're playing good hockey in a league that is a considerable step up from their old league. They got the Everett Silvertips coming to the Town Toyota Center on Sunday afternoon. It's a Sunday matinee, 4 o'clock. Austin Drade, the broadcasting voice of the Wild, will be joining me in the back half of the program. So here we go. Cameras are on the valley. We got some good shots for you today. For one thing, the days are getting longer. Sunrise this morning, 7:46. Sunset tonight, 4:30. Right on the button. 8 hours and 44 minutes of daylight. Yesterday's high, Tuesday, 45 degrees, as officially measured up at Payne-Bourne Memorial Airport. That was just 3 degrees off the record high for January 9th. We almost got there. Of course, it was very windy. At one point in the afternoon, at 1:30 yesterday afternoon, there was one wind gust at 41 miles an hour measured out at Payne-Bourne. The wind didn't last very long, and it wasn't quite as strong, at least here in the Wenatchee Valley, as we were anticipating, but it did get rather windy yesterday afternoon. Good morning to the valley. Good morning to the Lower Butte camera. Up to Lake Chelan we go. Gorgeous view there. They got snow pretty much right down to the lake. Everybody's going to get some snow, by the way. Thursday night into Friday, and then bitterly cold temperatures, really cold stuff, single digits coming up. Good morning to the lake from our lower Butte camera off the South Shore. This should be a great view from Billy Goat. Yeah, baby. Check that out. High atop Billy Goat Mountain overlooking the Alta Lake area, we can see Tenasket. No, we can't see Tenasket. It's good. It's not that good. We can see Pateros and Brewster and all the way up to Omak and Okanagan and Canada. Just a few high clouds up there. Right now, Omak, you're checking in at 34, by the way. It's 36 here in downtown Wenatchee. We're not too far off what our expected high temperature is going to be. And Jump Off Ridge, bingo, look at that. Beautiful view, high atop Jump Off Ridge above the Malaga area. You can see all of East Wenatchee all the way up to the bench, all the way up to the very top of Badger Mountain, Payne-Bourne Memorial Airport. Some spectacular views there from Jump Off Ridge. And we still have that blizzard warning. It's going to expire, they tell us later on today. This band of snow that's been hammering the mountain passes. This is an updated slide. It's not the same one we've shown you the last couple of days. As I mentioned before, I-90 got 19 inches of snow yesterday. Stevens got 10 inches of snow. Blewett only got 4 inches of snow, but they had a lot of trees go down on Blewett, which is why it's still closed. Blewett Pass is closed and Stevens is closed, but it will get better. One of the nice things about closing the passes to traffic is that the plows can get the job done without having to worry about traffic. So there you go. The blizzard warning continues. And did I mention we're going to get more snow? We're going to get more snow Thursday and Thursday night. For the Wenatchee Valley, probably most of the snow is going to be relegated overnight Thursday night into Friday. We're talking possibly 3 to 4 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley, about an inch tomorrow, and then 1 to 3 inches on top of that Thursday night with a light dusting of snow on Friday. And that snow ain't going to go anywhere, folks, because accompanying the snow that we're going to get Thursday night into Friday is going to be very, very cold temperatures, bitterly cold temperatures. As a matter of fact, check this out. Here we go. Partly sunny today, dry, very little wind, pretty quiet. If you like sunshine and not too cold temperatures, today's your day because things are going to change. 38 for the high today. Partly cloudy tonight, a skiff of snow possible. Don't think it's going to happen. Overnight low around 25. For Thursday, the snow is going to hold off until we get to late Thursday afternoon, and then we're going to get about an inch during the late afternoon hours on Thursday. So get ready for what could be an interesting Thursday commute. And look at the overnight low Thursday night, 8 degrees, and we're going to get about 2 to 3 inches of snow overnight Thursday night into Friday morning, in addition to the inch or so we're expecting on Thursday afternoon. So you add it all up, 3 to 4 inches of snow here in the Wenatchee Valley, and then a high of 12, So we almost set a record high yesterday, and then we're going to see high temperatures at 12 degrees and overnight lows at 2 and 4 and 3. Oh, get ready for some really cold Arctic air. It's knocking on our door, and when you get up Friday morning, it will be here. 8 minutes after the hour, grab a cup of coffee. When we come back, I'll fill you ahead for the information you need with the news. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Global Car Care has the best customer service in the Valley. From the moment you walk in the door, their goal is to help you stay on the road, so you can keep doing what's important to you. Global Car Care certified ASE mechanics stand behind your automotive repairs.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Oh, comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here.
Oh.
I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Central Washington Water is your solution for problem water. Whether you're on a well or municipal water, they can design a clean water system custom to you. Soft water eliminates water spots and scaling on fixtures. It protects appliances from hard water damage, saving you money. Soft water reduces soap usage that causes skin irritation and is a healthier choice to drink. Call for a free in-home consultation or stop by the store to have your water tested. Central Washington Water, your best water solution for home, pool, and spa.
36 degrees. We'll have some sunshine today, about 38, 35 with a mixture of clouds and sun on Thursday. Snow Thursday night, bitterly cold temperatures into the weekend and into the early part of next week at least. And if you're just joining us, Stevens Pass is still closed and Blewett Pass is also still closed. It's 11 minutes after the hour. Police in Quincy opened fire and killed a man on Monday night at a local convenience store after he allegedly stabbed one of the officers. Authorities say Quincy police were called at about 8:30 Monday night for a disturbance at the Jackpot Food Mart. That's in the 300 block of F Street Southeast, involving a man with a knife. After two officers arrived, the suspect had allegedly stabbed one officer in the arm and the shoulder. The police then shot and killed the suspect. Neither of the officers involved nor the deceased man have been publicly identified as of yet. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the police officer was treated at Quincy Valley Medical Center and released. The police use of force is being reviewed by the Columbia Basin Investigative Team. A three-vehicle crash yesterday morning between Monitor and Cashmere seriously injured a couple of people and really tied up traffic. Truck. Guerrero was hurt alongside the driver of that pickup truck, 58-year-old Edward Shabbat of Leavenworth. Both of those drivers were taken to Confluence Health Hospital. The Eastmont School Board is back up to full strength. They now have 5 members after Monday night's meeting sworn into the job. Newcomers Jacob Burkhart and Lauren Meehee, I should say. They took their oath of office at Monday's visit at Grant Elementary School. Both Burkhart and Meehee ran uncontested in the 2023 general election. Burkhart, by the way, will fill the WIAA representative role that was previously held by now Vice President Jason Hines. The board now looks ahead to the February 13th special election. They're going to see if they can get a $117 million school construction bond on the ballot and eventually passed. The Chelan Douglas Regional Port Authority has published its Phase 1 report of its regional sports complex feasibility study. You've heard about this. The proposed complex, how will it benefit the Wenatchee Valley? Well, the results of the study showed a need in the community for outdoor sports fields, as well as an indoor aquatics and sports facility. While local community members expressed interest in using the facilities themselves, input from stakeholders focused on the possible boost to the local economy if the facility was large enough to host regional sports tournaments. Phase 2 of planning, goals and objectives are now underway. The final report, by the way, is expected this summer. Well, the state legislature opened for business this week, as you know, and 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins is planning an open house on Friday to hear from constituents. The one-hour event starts at noon at the Chelan County PUD Service Center out in Old Station. It'll include a preview from Hawkins on pending bills, plus a chance for residents to ask questions and give input. Any member of the public is welcome. The 60-day legislative session began on Monday, I should say, and it will adjourn on March 7th. And the Chelan County Fair and Rodeo crowned its very first official queen, Miss Austin Robinson. The pageant competition was held back on November 12th. We caught up with Miss Robinson to ask her about the process and what the future means being the queen.
Hello everyone, I'm Casey Safford and I'm here with the first ever Chelan County Fair and Rodeo Queen, Miss Austin Robinson. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Austin.
you for having me.
So first of all, would you mind sharing how old you are and where you grew up?
I'm 20 years old and I grew up in Prosser, Washington, but I did graduate from Kashmir High School
Oh, perfect.
in 2022.
So how did you first receive word about the pageant and what made you decide you wanted to participate?
Actually, my stepmom sent it to me on Facebook and was like, hey, they're looking for a rodeo queen. Like, what do you think? I was like, I'll think about it. And then actually I did end up running for Ben Franklin's rodeo queen as well. And I ended up not winning. But then Kirsten reached out to me and was like, would you be interested in running? I was like, yeah.
So when did the pageant begin and what all did that competition entail for you?
So it was a long process because we get there in the morning. I did my interviews, I did my speech, I did my horsemanship, and then we did like the crowning and everything at the end, and just like a little luncheon at the end.
And when were you officially crowned?
That evening. It's a lot of preparation to get like up to it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. I've had aunts that were rodeo queens as well, so it's something I
wow.
grew up in, and it's something I just wanted to continue my legacy on with.
Were your aunts excited to hear that you were going to go after this title and that you won?
It's a family thing, and they're all like, they were the ones that helped me like plan my outfits. My grandma actually made some of my outfits.
Oh.
So.
Perfect. Well, that's awesome that it runs in your family and you're keeping that legacy going. So what does your future as queen entail now? What sort of duties and responsibilities do you have to the fair and rodeo?
I will be traveling around this year representing our small town rodeo and inviting people to come out and enjoy our small community and just getting to know everyone and explaining to people that might not understand the rodeo world, but to explain them like the rules, and if they have any questions, I'm always willing to answer some questions.
What does the rodeo world mean to you specifically?
I've always loved rodeo just because of the family atmosphere, and you can always count on someone if you need something, and they'll always have it, or they'll always find a way to help you. I've just loved that family atmosphere of the rodeo.
That's great. And then my last question is just how does it feel being the very first queen that the rodeo has had?
It's really exciting. I'm so excited to be the first one and mold the way for everyone else that comes after me.
So Austin, tell us when the next fair is happening.
That'll be September 5th through the 8th, and I'm really excited to invite everyone out there for it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations on becoming the first ever queen.
And that is the news at 17 minutes after the hour. It's been a busy news day, and it's going to be another busy news day today. Check it out, the news with Grant and Eric at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, 5, 6, and 10 right here on the NCW Live channel. If that doesn't work into your schedule, you can always watch it online because our news will be up and running right around 5 o'clock on our homepage, ncwlife.com, on our Facebook page, on our YouTube page, and on our app. And don't forget we stream all the time, too. And download our app. If you haven't done so already, just do the old QR thingamajig that you see on your screen, and if there's something out there that warrants our attention, yes, send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. Who's the hottest team in the NHL? They play not far from where I'm sitting. Kraken win again. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you at med-project.org.
This is Grace, and this is her world record-holding guinea pig with an iconic name, Abby.
She currently holds the Guinness World Record for the highest bar jump by a guinea pig. I ride horses and I jump, so I kind of thought it'd be interesting to teach my guinea pig to jump like my horse does.
One day she came out of her room and looked at us, and I said, "Did you get it?" And she said, "Yeah, we got it."
After we won our award, we came to Abby's to celebrate.
Come see how very different you will feel in your Bullfrog Spa.
Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue, family owned and operated on North Wenatchee Avenue, right next to Hooked on Toys. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue uses only fresh ingredients, handcrafted with love, including authentic Hawaiian barbecue and Japanese-style ramen noodle soups. And the bubble teas will keep you coming back for more. Enjoy the culinary tour of the Pacific Rim with Hawaiian barbecue lunches and combo plate classics, as well as ramen noodle soups. Tiki Hawaiian Barbecue. Enjoy their comfort food like you're one of the family. 20 minutes after the hour in sports, Alex Wenberg, Jaden Schwartz, and Maddie Berniers all scored goals, all in the second period, and no real problems for the Kraken. They pull away from the Sabres 5-2 on Tuesday night in Buffalo. That's 7 in a row now in the W column. Yanni Gourde and Vince Dunn also scored for the Kraken. Joey Decord making 36 saves.
Their lines with the play on the wall in the Buffalo zone. Look out, turned over. Bjorkstrand turns, takes a shot, pad save, and what a save with the rebound. Yanni Gourde parks in the back of the net to tie the game at 1. Great first stop by Devin Levi. But Yanni Gourde was Yanni on the spot, I guess you could say, and we're all even.
Going to be the flashiest team, but they're going to just keep coming at you. And if you make mistakes like this is the ones you're talking about, paying attention to details, getting the puck out, getting it in. And this one ends up costing a little confusion there between Benson and Krebs on getting this puck out.
Can't clear it though, kept it at the line. Now turned over, potential breakaway for Alex Tuck. He's on a break against Decord. Tucks can't slide it through the 5-hole. Burakovsky turns in the slot, and a return back to Burakovsky instead of Beniers taking the shot. Sabres will take that. Here's Dunn working it up top. Dunn near circle shot, scores. Vince Dunn gets his 4th power play goal of the season, and the Kraken have taken a 2-1 lead with 1:10 to go in the opening period.
Let's take a look at it. Here's Vince Dunn. He's got it along the wall. He just drops it back to the top side, and just some quick puck movement. As the puck went to the top and across, Vince...
Seattle playing it up the center. 2-on-1 here is wide open. Here's Wenberg with a chance, and a backhand scores. Alex Wenberg on a quick transition and an odd man rush. Seattle regains the lead at 3-2 here with 17:52 to go in the second. Touching it back inside the line, and Tanev now will jump onto it on the left wing side of the Buffalo zone. He's got Jaden Schwartz up there with him. It'll come around, and Wenberg will spin it back to the point. Borgen's shot tipped in and scored. Borgen from the blue line with the shot.
Yeah, I think Schwartz driving to the net, Dan.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a deflection.
Yeah, he is. Here they just... little misplay there, getting it up the ice, and it end up being in their zone. This is Tanev. He's going to work it down low, just get things separated for them. There's the quick shot from the point.
Krebs comes over the boards. Kraken score! Coming down that far side of the ice. As Beniers had the look on Devin Levi, and it's now a 5-2 second period.
And Matty Beniers is going to get his 6th goal of the year here. And it's just been leading up to this. The Sabres are just not winning those battles. They're slow when they get the puck. They're losing the battles. And right here, Beniers is going to step down and just take that quick shot. Face up.
So the Kraken continue their season-long 6-game road trip. They'll be in our nation's capital to take on Washington. That'll be tomorrow at 4 o'clock on Root Sports Northwest. Just one men's college basketball game scheduled for tonight. The Cougars are in Southern California to take on Southern Cal. That'll be at 7:30 on FS1 in men's college basketball. High school scores, the NCAA basketball showcase last night at the Town Toyota Center. Clean sweep for the Wildcats. The Eastmont girls knocked off Wenatchee 45-28, and the Eastmont boys beat Wenatchee 60-37. By the way, those were non-league games, even though it was Eastmont and Wenatchee. Carol Butrelli scoreboard from our friends at Les Schwab. A clean sweep for OMAC. The Pioneer girls over Cascade 46-23, and the boys beat Cascade 68-27. CWAC action last night. Grandview sweeps the Ephrata Tigers. The girls over Ephrata 80-46, and the Grandview boys over Ephrata 64-44. In Central Washington, 2B girls action last night again from our friends at Les Schwab. Tonasket 55, Lake Roosevelt 42. Brewster got by Okanagan 53-47. Manson all over Bridgeport 50-14, and Liberty Bell no problems with Orville in girls basketball 53-21 on the boys schedule. And the boys action again from our friends at Les Schwab. Lake Roosevelt no problems with Tonasket. Okanagan just nipped Brewster 47-46, the Manson boys over Bridgeport, 58-55, and Liberty Bell beat Orville by 50. In the Central Washington 1B girls action last night, Soap Lake beat Antioch 47-22, and Moses Lake Christian beat Riverside Christian 38-21. In Central Washington 1B boys action, Soap Lake all over Antioch 91-29. Moses Lake Christian completes the sweep. The boys over Riverside Christian 54-49, and Cascade Christian defeated Thorpe 41-23. The schedule today pretty light. In Caribou Trail League, the girls, Quincy will be at Cashmere at 5:45, followed by the boys at 7:15, and Waterville Mansfield travels to Chelan in a non-league game at 7 o'clock tonight in girls basketball. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 10th day of January. If you live in the Bahamas, and right now I wish I was, today is National Majority Rule Day in the Bahamas. I don't make this stuff up. These holidays actually exist. If you want to, you can celebrate National Bittersweet Chocolate Day. It's National Cut Your Energy Costs Day. Keep in mind, it's going to get really cold this weekend. It's the Oysters Rockefeller Day, too rich for me. National Save the Eagles Day, and we're not talking about the band. They're doing just fine. We're talking about our national symbol, the bald eagle. National Take the Stairs Day. It's Peculiar People Day. But no, today we celebrate the houseplant. National Houseplant Appreciation Day. Today, most houseplants, not all of them, but most of them come from warmer climes because in order for them to grow indoors, they have to get used to mild temperatures. People have been growing plants indoors since as far back as history goes. Nobody really knows the history of indoor plants, but basically forever. Indoor plants are good for your house. They remove allergens and pollutants from the air if you keep them clean. I learned this from Bonnie Orr. You have to dust the plants every once in a while to make sure the pores stay open and clean. House plants absorb sound. They reduce stress. It's true. You play a lot of music in your house, as I do. Plants like that. Plants will thrive in a musical environment. If you have an office, if you work in an office with a bunch of coworkers, bring in some indoor plants. It apparently, I'm told, increases productivity, and the internet wouldn't lie to me. Most plants are very easy to maintain. You don't have to do a lot of work to them. And there are a lot of plants, indoor house plants, that you can buy that you got to work really hard to kill them. Basically, if you don't water it, it dies. Outside of that, give it some water and you're doing fine. But be careful if you have pets, because there are some house plants that are very common and very popular that are toxic to dogs and cats. So heads up on that. Get yourself a house plant or two today and enjoy. It's good for you. It's 28 minutes after the hour. Today in history. What river is that? Pretty unimpressive, isn't it? Considering the role that this river played in history. 2,073 years ago, January 10th, 49 BC, Julius Caesar and his army crossed that river, the Rubicon. And it started the revolution. Julius was one of the big wigs down there, you know, in Italy, and that was his section. Everybody had their own little piece of real estate, their own little army, but Julius Caesar had bigger plans, and the Romans down there in Rome kind of knew that, so they told him, they called him up. Jerry, just stay there. That's your part. You know, have a couple barbecues. Don't cross the Rubicon. That's the border. You cross the Rubicon, we're going to have some trouble. He said, I don't care. I'm going. Now, crossing the Rubicon, of course, is now an idiom. It's a metaphor for point of no return. But who's kidding who? It probably didn't take him a long time to cross that thing. Julius Caesar crosses the Rubicon and changes history on this date in 49 BC. On this date in 1776, on the cusp of the American Revolution, Thomas Paine, the underappreciated Thomas Paine, anonymously publishes the pamphlet called Common Sense. And you should read it if you haven't. It's still one of the biggest selling books of all time. It's not really a book anymore. They've taken all of Thomas Paine's writings and combined them into a book. It was read aloud at taverns and public meetings and on street corners, and it got everybody all riled up because it just made it made common sense. Thomas Paine's Common Sense is 248 years old today. Way back in Texas in the early part of the last century, 1900, 1901, they figured there's got to be oil somewhere. Finding oil is not an easy thing to do, but On this date in Beaumont, Texas in 1901, boom, the Spindletop Gusher, the first great oil gusher in Texas history. Boom. Guess what? We found some oil. They found a lot of oil. It blew for 9 days at 100,000 barrels a day before they could finally get a cap on the damn thing. The population of Beaumont, Texas was 10,000 people on this date in 1901. 3 months later, 50,000 people lived in Beaumont, Texas. Land speculation skyrocketed. The price of land skyrocketed. Everybody wanted in on this. And by the end of the next year, more than 500 oil companies had been formed in and around Beaumont, Texas. 285 wells were drilling, and the economy of Texas, and for that matter, this country, was changed forever when they finally found oil in Beaumont, Texas on this date in 1901. The de Havilland DH-106 Comet was the very first jet airline for commercial purposes, a passenger jet airline. It was the very first one, the de Havilland DH-106 Comet. They made two very crucial design problems. When they built it, they didn't think it all the way through. They thought, okay, people are going to want to enjoy the views. You're going to be flying at thousands and thousands of feet above sea level in a pressurized cabin. The views are going to be spectacular, so instead of putting in small oval windows to help the structural integrity of the fuselage, they put in great big square windows, and they didn't take into account that the constant pressuring and depressuring and pressurizing and unpressurizing the fuselage could lead to some structural problems. And on this date, 70 years ago today, BOAC Flight 781, just flying over the Mediterranean and just boom. That was it. All they found was little bitty pieces of the plane. 3 of these airplanes would crash within 12 months of each other, all for the same problem. Big square windows and a fuselage that could not handle the pressure. They fixed the problem. And finally, way back in the 1860s, when anti-Catholic sentiment was at its very height, the Congress passed a law that refused to fund a formal diplomatic corps to the Holy See, to the Catholic Church. They said, you can have one, you just can't pay for it. So we didn't have one. So there was no formal diplomatic relations between Vatican City, the Holy See, and the United States, and they finally took care of that little problem on this date 40 years ago when they reestablished full diplomatic relations after 117 years. It wasn't like they weren't answering each other's phone calls. Birthdays. Rock and Roll Heaven has a couple of guys up there that we love. Ronnie Hawkins, the Hawk, whose great backing band would move on and become the band. He himself is one of the legendary rockers and rollers, born in Arkansas, but made his name and lived in Canada. The great Ronnie Hawkins, he's up there jamming. I can tell you that much right now. We lost Ronnie a couple of years ago. He was born in the state in 1935. Listen to a little Jim Croce this morning. We missed Jim Croce. He would have been 81 years old today, died in a plane crash at the age of 30 in 1973, but the music still lives on. You don't mess around with Jim. Bad, Bad, Leroy Brown, Operator, I Got a Name, Time in a Bottle. The music lives on, but you got to think what may have happened. Jim Croce, born in the state in 1943. A living rocker and roller, Donald Fagen. Steely Dan, 76 years old today, one of the quirkier musicians ever, but I love Steely Dan. Happy birthday to Donald Fagen. And the great George Foreman is 75 years old today, oldest heavyweight champion in history. And of course, the George Foreman Grill, which made him $1 bazillion. The George Foreman Grill was manufactured by a company called Salton, and they brought in George Foreman as the spokesperson, and they said, we'll pay you 40% of the net profits for every George Foreman Grill sold. At one point, he was making over $4 million a month as a spokesperson for the George Foreman Grill. They just put his name on it, and he did the commercials. $4 million a month. Then they finally said, how about if we just pay you a flat fee of $200 million? And George said, that's fine, too. He made much, much more money as a spokesperson for the George Foreman Grill than he ever made as a boxer. George Foreman, the father of 12 children, 5 sons and 7 daughters. His 5 sons are George Jr., George II, George III, and George IV. Happy birthday, George Foreman. It's 35 minutes after the hour. Thank you to Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. They are platinum sponsors here at the NCW Life Channel. Still to come, an opinion from my Mad Dog Mignotti. You've never seen it because we've never aired it. Austin Drade, broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild with his usual Wednesday visit. And I'm sitting on this baby right now. This could be yours. A $50 gift card to the Crepe House. You've heard about this. The Crepe House in the Victorian Village off a Mission. They've been open for a couple of months. People are going gaga over it. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. Send in your email. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on. A $50 gift card to the Crepe House could be yours. Mike Mignotti is next. You're watching a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
Since 1932, Camp Seneca, nestled on the beautiful shores of Lake Wenatchee, has provided children grades 1 through 12 with the ideal location for kids to learn new skills, have fun, and make friends while creating memories that will last a lifetime. Camp Seneca's rustic log cabins and their staff serve to provide each group a unique summer camp experience. Register for Camp Seneca today, www.campfirencw.org.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, I believe there are a number of private and charter schools in our area. Actually, one of my grandkids goes to one. And I remember when this particular school and the others started, they did so without justifying the creation of their school by spreading false information and outright lies about the public school system and our current school board. I mean, why should they? People, you can start at school if you want to. Yeah, nobody's stopping you. So why should any local organization have to resort to mudslinging and the outright spreading of lies and disinformation to justify their doing so? Well, you know, this is why. It's a common fascist tactic. Yeah, that's the word, fascist. If you want like-minded people to support your project financially, you create a mutual enemy. Yep. This is Mike Mad Dog Mignotti, and that's my opinion.
At Confluence Health, our mission is clear: to provide exceptional care for our community. We believe in healthcare that's personal and local because we're just like you. members of this great community.
We are Confluence.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
Local care by and for our community.
We are Confluence.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air.
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you're calling on 35 plus years of experience in the Wenatchee Valley. Spending extra time in your home, you may have discovered an unwanted aroma. Stinky feet, pets, who knows what. Call Dick's today about installing their Train Clean Effects electronic air cleaner or a Rheem Halo ultraviolet air purifier. Either way, the air quality in your home will be improved. Proudly servicing all of North Central Washington, call 884-6444 today. We're back here on the program every Wednesday. We visit with Austin Dryday, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Wild, coming off a nice 6-3 victory on Saturday in front of a big crowd. As you can see behind you, Austin, the Wild are not practicing right now. It is, they got the big holiday basketball tournament going on. Are they in the the other rink?
Yeah,
they're still going to skate.
Yep,
they just can't skate here.
Still going to skate. They'll be on the community rink at least for the first couple of days while the basketball tournament's going on.
Is there a difference in the ice between the community rink and the main rink? Because the community rink gets a lot of use from just the general public as opposed to just really good skaters. Here, is there a difference in the ice at all, or is it just ice?
Probably a little bit of difference in the ice, not something that you or I could tell if we were skating on it, but the boards bounce a little differently. The glass certainly bounces a little differently, and it's a lot colder in the other building than it is in the main rink. So it's a little bit different, but at the same time, hockey's hockey. I know the guys adjust.
That's true. The rink is the same size,
yeah.
And that's all that really matters. They're not playing on a mini rink or anything. Kento had one really nice night on Saturday night in front of a packed house, or a damn near packed house here at the Town Toyota Center. We gave the Rockets a pretty good butt kicking as we roll highlights. Talk about Saturday night's big victory here.
Yeah, Kenta Iso guy launched into his biggest night of his career against the Rockets. 3 goals, 1 in each period with a couple of assists on the night. Wild won every period. 2-1 in the first period, got a goal in the second period and shut out the Rockets for the middle 20 minutes. And the scoring really picked up in the third period. 3 goals, including the last one for Kento with just a few minutes left, and a couple of assists for him. Did give up a couple of goals late just to keep things a little closer, a little more interesting for the visitors at the end. But a thorough game for the guys on Saturday night, and a real nice victory in front of a big crowd out here.
And he was kind of lost in the shuffle because we had Geeky and we had Savoy, our 2 best players. This guy is really good too, but he wasn't quite getting the limelight that he probably deserved. Well, we're done with that now. Everybody knows who this guy is.
He's going to get a lot of the limelight now, and he's been one of the best pickups in the entire Western Hockey League, coming in from the USHL with the Youngstown Phantoms last year. He had 39 points all of last year. Now he's up into the mid-50s, and with a huge night against a pretty good Kelowna team on Saturday night. He's fit in well on that first line. I think he's going to continue a really strong performance for this team here over the second half.
What was the message from the coach and from the general manager after the events of January the 4th? And we'll get this in a little more detail. Connor gone and Matthew gone. And obviously there was a team meeting and said, you guys understand what's going on here. What was the initial impression from the team, knowing this is still a good team? We're right near the top of our division. We're going to make a playoff run. It's just we're going to have to do it without Connor and without Matthew. Was that essentially it?
Well, the rumors have been floating around in the hockey world and in our part of the hockey world for a while, but The guys, they're a group of professionals. They get right back out there and keep working hard, and they know that they're a competitive team. They know they're a good team, and they've won more than they've lost, even with Connor and Matt out of the lineup since the second week of December with a trip over to World Juniors. So they've gotten right back to work, and they've taken in the new guys pretty well. Obviously, the new guys blended in pretty well that first game they played on Saturday night.
So, as you know by now, Connor Geeky traded, Matthew Savoy traded. Bliss Littler gave us heads up on this a couple of weeks ago. He said this is the nature of the game of hockey. We inherited a team that basically traded away the farm to make a run at the Big Cup last year. We got these players, but in exchange for inheriting a really good team, we had the cupboard was bare for the future of the Wenatchee Wild hockey franchise. These were moves that basically had to be done, not necessarily for this year, although we're still good, but for the future. Absolutely. Yeah, now this team has the draft picks that we need to start developing players again and bringing in top players to refill the cupboards for the next few years. Without those draft picks, we're talking about 4 to 5 years without a first or second round pick. And you look at the top scorers, you look at the top 50 in the Western Hockey League, more than half of them came from the first or second round. So if you want to score goals, if you want to have guys on the ice who you can count on to really drive the bus when things get tough, you've got to have some of those top picks. And now we lose those guys, but we've still got a very competitive team without them, and we get the opportunity to bring in some top players over the next few years that otherwise we wouldn't have a chance to develop. And is Bliss underrated? I mean, he was such a successful coach for so many years. Is he underrated as a talent evaluator? Because he knows his stuff. And when the phone calls started coming on January 2nd and 3rd and the deals were done on the 4th, he got us some good guys. He knows his when it comes to who can skate and who can shoot and who can stop pucks, he knows what he's doing. Between Bliss and Clarkey, Lee Mendelson, who handles our scouting and our goaltending coaching, it's a pretty good brain trust in the front office here with Wenatchee. I think I saw a tweet from Cole Waldy, who's actually the play-by-play voice for Prince George, who came down on Wednesday night, right before those deals went down. The tweet from him was, "Take a bow, Bliss Littler," on the 4th after everything went down. To lose those guys, yes, but to bring in the haul that we got for draft picks is pretty impressive. And we got some good players too. We can't. I mean, players are in uniform now. We did. Maddox McHaggerty actually was an affiliate player for the Merritt Centennials last year. We played him a couple of times in the British Columbia Hockey League. He was only a 16-year-old last year, played as an affiliate player for part of the year, and I think they re-signed him for the rest of the year toward the end. But I thought he was one of the better players on the ice for Merritt when he played against us last year in the BCHL. So now we get him in. We get Sam Ward, who I thought played a very intentional game. He knows where he's going. He knows how to handle a puck, and did a great job working in the corners for puck battles on Saturday night. And Josh Fluker has a nose for the puck. He can find guys who are open and set things up. So I think we got 3 very, very good options for defensemen out of that deal with Swift Current. Is Bliss restricted when he makes these deals, specific trades for warm bodies within the WHL, or is there some leeway there to go to other leagues and other? We try to keep guys within the WHL whenever we can. I think there's some leeway. We made that trade with the reassignment with Mason Bopit to Muskegon in the USHL early in the season when he needed to cut down the 20-year-olds. But for the most part, you're going to see guys moving within the Western Hockey League. Wenatchee slipped just a little bit. They lost to Prince George on Wednesday, but they righted the ship against Kelowna in a big way. And now into town on Sunday, the Everett Silvertips Sunday matinee, 4 o'clock. We've seen a lot of these guys lately, and we're still going to see a lot of these guys. Talk a little bit about Everett. Every game with them has been close, too. Other than the one game that we played with them right before the holiday break, every game against them has gone to overtime. But it's a group that there are 3 teams battling for first place in the U.S. division. Portland is one of them. We're the other 2. Scott Ratzlaff has been outstanding in net for them. He spent some time on the World Junior roster for Canada over in Sweden last week. Dominic Raymond was on the Czechia team that finished 3rd over there. He was one of their leaders. So it's a group with a lot of high-end talent, and they've got a lot of scoring depth behind them as well. So
You add that to good goaltending with guys like Scott Ratzlaff. He just had 54 the other night in a loss. So it's a group that we'll need to roll all of our lines against in order to win.
We played Saturday. We don't play again until Sunday. That's kind of a weird scheduling quirk, but we've also played more games than anybody else in the league. We've already played 40. I don't think Seattle's only played like 34 or 33 games. It all evens out in the end. So what does that mean to keep the team with this much time off in the middle of the hockey season? It's not like the Christmas break when everybody had 10, 12 days off, but this is kind of a strange scenario to keep the guys sharp going from a Saturday night game to a Sunday afternoon game. They got 6 days of rest.
It's kind of a strange scenario, but like you said, it does all even out, and it actually comes with those 3 guys coming in. It comes at a good time because we get a chance to, I think Roy Sommer said, do kind of a mini training camp for the guys to keep them sharp, but also to integrate those 3 new players into our systems, our way of doing things, and kind of see where they fit in the lineup to a chance to kind of build this thing going into the second half of the coaching staff and keep these guys energy up going into the next week's worth of games.
And the Wild philosophy, the Wild way of doing things, and we've talked about this before, that you've called this team gritty. And these guys, the new guys, are going to have to learn real quick that it doesn't matter if we're ahead 6-3 or down 3-6. We're going to check into the boards. We're going to go for the steals. We're going to play 60 minutes of hockey.
Absolutely, and that starts with a good start, and the guys have done a much better job starting games here of late. I think it was the last Prince George game on December 15th. There was a message sent to the guys in practice the following day after a 3-0 first period that, hey, these slow starts end now, and the guys really picked it up against Everett the following day. We saw that win, and they've been pretty good in the first period ever since, but it starts with that good start, but I think the guys with Maddox and Josh and Sam coming in, they're going to get right into the mix. They're competitors. They're going to be ready to play a full 60 no matter what.
Before this facility was built, Wenatchee had an ice rink. It was only open from October to March. It was covered, but that was about all it was. Now we have 2 rinks, and that has seen an explosion in youth hockey here, in the youth hockey in the Wenatchee Valley. And that's going to be celebrated on Sunday, isn't it?
It is. Youth Hockey Night, all presented by Wenatchee Clinic Pharmacy. We'll have keychain flashlight giveaway. We'll have a full team signing poster signing down in the concourse, and we want the young kids to come out and see not just their hometown team and the guys that they look up to, but to see, if you've got talent, you're willing to work hard. This is what can happen if you're willing to put those 2 together and pursue the sport.
And it's called the Wenatchee Wild, but who's kidding who? It's all over north central Washington. They now have thriving youth hockey organizations up north in the Omak-Okanagan area, down at the Columbia Basin. Organizations that may not exist or at least thrive without having facilities that they can come down here and they have a team they can cheer for. That all ties in, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Every region, I think, in Washington has a WHL team to root for. You go west of the mountains and you've got Seattle, you've got Everett. East of the mountains you have Spokane. You go south and you've got Tri-City down there. We're pretty grateful to have the region of Washington that we have, and to have the rinks around here that we do. I know this is obviously the premier one, but you mentioned some of the other ones. I know Moses Lake has kind of a hybrid one, kind of indoor-outdoor. Even Winthrop, I saw, has a real nice rink up there a couple hours north. So
they have an outdoor rink right on the river. It's pretty cool.
They do. It's there are good options to play this sport up here, but we're glad to be the team that everybody in north central Washington really rallies around and gets to follow.
Think of it this way. The Wenatchee Valley has 2 year-round ice rinks. Yakima doesn't have any. And they're bigger than Wenatchee. Trust me on that. One more deal, and we'll cut you loose, buddy. The Wenatchee Wild Booster Club has a couple of road trips planned for you if you are so inclined to go. The 21st of this month, they're going to head over to Seattle to the it's in Kent, right?
It's in Kent.
The arena, I'm sorry. I forgot the name of the arena. The Seattle Thunderbird.
Accesso Showwear.
Something like that. And that's on the 21st, and then they're going to go to Everett on February 4th. So how do people say, I want to hop on the bus and go to a road trip and cheer on the team? How do they go about doing that?
All the information is on the Booster Club website. It's www.hbc.org, and we've got a link to it on the homepage of our website at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. I know the deadline is coming up quick, and we have a lot of seats to fill on the Booster Club trip. A lot of nibbles, but not a lot of commitments. So if you're going to get on that one, if we're going to have that trip, now is the time to get the money in and get signed up, so we can bring a full group down to cheer these guys on here over the next couple of weeks.
Again, just one game this week, Sunday matinee, Everett Silvertips at 4 o'clock. Tickets at WenatcheeWild.com. Let's fill this place up, and then they'll play again on Tuesday of next week, so you're going to come down, and we'll have a little Tuesday visit. Does that work?
Absolutely.
Next time? All right. Austin Andrade, one last question for you before we cut you loose. The Austin Andrade Chico's Bell Bonds Player of the Week goes to?
Well, there was only one guy who had a hat trick and a career-high 5 points last week, so I think you know who we got to give it to.
Yes, Mr. Isoge. Kento Isoge. I had to put that phonetically so I wouldn't blow his name, and I damn near did anyway. Congratulations, my friend. A year's supply of turtle wax and a version of the home game. All right, until next Tuesday, go wild.
Go wild.
We'll be right back.
Snow piles up quickly. Remove it just as quickly with Kubota compact and utility tractors. Rated #1 in durability and owner experience, they're built to take on winter with front and rear mount snow blowers, blades, and rotary sweepers. Get select Kubota tractors for 0 down, 2.99% APR for up to 84 months, plus save up to $800 on qualifying snow attachments. See your local Kubota dealer today.
In today's environment, risk management assessment is a crucial process for your business. Risk assessment will identify, evaluate, and mitigate hazards. Don't let risk impact your business income, reputation, operations, and your overall success. We can give you peace of mind by transferring your business risks to the insurance providers. Call Stacy at August Edge Insurance today to schedule a risk management assessment for your business.
Okay, we are back, getting ready to wrap up a Wednesday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It is Winning Wednesday. I got a $50 gift card to the Crep House, brand new. They opened a few months ago. Everybody's going crazy about this place because who doesn't love a good crepe? They're in the Victorian Village there, off of South Mission in Wenatchee. You can phone ahead and pick up your crepes for yourself and your coworkers and your family at their drive-through window. That is super convenient, and they offer gluten-free and dairy-free crepes. $50 gift card. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. And don't forget, if you do not enter the contest, you can't win the contest. So if you don't send me an email, winner at ncwlife.com, you are automatically disqualified. $50 worth of crepes. That's a lot of crepes. I-90 is open. You can drive over I-90. Getting there is the problem because Blewett Pass is still closed, has been for over 24 hours, and Stevens Pass is closed. They will reopen them later on today. They got some work to do, but right now Stevens Pass is still closed and Blewett Pass is still closed. So traveling across the state through the mountains is problematic, and they're still dealing with some snow up there, and we're going to have some snow right down here in the Wenatchee Valley Thursday afternoon and Thursday night when it's all said and done, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches here in the valley, here in the Wenatchee Valley, and then it's going to get really, 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 really cold. So this snow is going to be sticking around for a while. Again, about an inch on Thursday during the day, late in the afternoon, and then about 1 to 3 inches on top of that Thursday night into Friday. And I'm about ready to sneeze, but I'll hold it while we get the weather done. From the National Weather Service, here you go. That 38 degrees under partly sunny skies is going to feel downright balmy compared to what's coming our way. Slight chance of light snow tonight, 25 for the overnight low, 35 on Thursday. And again, here comes this cold front. Late in the day on Thursday, some snow associated with it. We're going to go from 35 for our high temperature on Thursday to 8 degrees for the overnight low Thursday night and Friday. You're going to wake up to light snow on Friday and we're only going to get to 12 and then really cold right through the weekend. Get ready, folks. Bundle up. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.